Hello, it's Henry here from Airsoft. Today I'm going to be talking to you about playing the objective with your team. Yes, I just put these goggles on. Anyway, talking to you about playing with your team. Now, one of the first things you need to know about playing with your team is that communication is incredibly important. Those of you who don't already know. Yes, I wasn't looking at the webcam. Anyway, what you need to know is that playing with your team is perhaps the most important thing there is, and it's very difficult to play with a team that doesn't know what they're doing. For example, we ran some games and simulations the other week, and when George went down we had no way of knowing that he'd gone. As a result, our entire tactics fell to pieces. We took out most of the enemy, there was only one left, Dan, and we did rather well, but he did take us all out. Now, it's very difficult if a teammate comes into a problem and they have no way of contacting you. Now, luckily for us, George was able to call me when he got hit and say he'd been thrown by the camera or something and went off to talk, and he managed to tell me he'd gone down. Anyway, a hit player can tell you they're hit. At least this is standard. I'm not saying that this is all rules, I'm just saying it's standard. A hit player can tell you they are hit. They cannot tell you where the guy is, they cannot tell you how many there are, they cannot tell you where they got hit from, but they can tell you that they were hit. Get your radio, I've been hit, need a medic. Put down, and guess what? Someone's going to know that you've been hit and they're going to come and try and find you. You can't tell them where you are, but obviously if you're stuck to the plan, they'll know where you are. Now, next thing about working in a team. You've got to suit each other's roles. Let me give you an example. You can't have a team made up of completely snipers. That's it. No one else, just snipers. That doesn't work. You've got to customise your loadouts to suit each other. To give you an idea, the Outsiders Airsoft team, my half of Top Hat Airsoft, we are the best team. The other team calls themselves the better team, but as far as I'm aware, they're not the best team. We're better equipped. So, it's a fair enough deal. Anywho, what we do is we have 3 snipers, if you include Carl, which I'm not sure that I do, but I guess I have to. G22 is a sniper rifle, I'll admit that, but it's not really got, I suppose it hasn't really got the FPS. But, anywho, we've got 3 snipers, Will, Marty, Carl. We've got 3 guys armed with assault rifles, myself, Joe, and Corley. Although admittedly Corley is using a spring UMP, but we'll forgive him. It's fine. It's only his first gun, and you know he's got to check whether he enjoys the sport first. Anywho, the way we do it is we run our team appropriately. Everyone is split into fire squads. Each person will have 2 fire squads. First fire squad is your squad where you get put with a sniper. In my case, I'm generally put with Marty. That's the most likely things. I'll be put with Marty. I might work with Will, but I think I'm more likely to work with Marty. I think I might rather work with Marty, just because I know that Will can handle himself, and I don't know how good Marty is really. Anywho, I will work with Marty, Joe will work with Will, Carl will work with Corley, and as a result every sniper has a spotter and a cover fire. Think of it this way. You have a bolt action rifle. I was about to do a shotgun thing there. If, say, now an enemy comes from that way, straight in front of me, and he's got an AR, okay? Now as a sniper, when you're not very far away from your enemy, you are stuffed in this instance in Airsoft, especially in Will or Marty's case, when they have 3 to 9 times optical zoom scopes. So those guys have to either kind of off-hit, you know, not looking down sights, or they have to look down sights, which they have to unzoom, refocus, and look down sights. This is a real problem for those guys. As a result, they need an AR to cover them. My job with my XM8 or my P90, depending on which weapon I use, is to make sure that they don't get repetitively shot in the face, which is a challenge to accomplish that kind of task. But if anyone gets too close, it's instantly my job to start shooting them back. This applies to all of the fire teams, and it should apply to all fire teams in your squad. But the secondary fire team is much more complicated, at least in its role. Secondary fire team, for me, consists of myself, Joe, and Corley, with 3 guys who don't have snipers. Will, Marty, and Carl are in the other group. They're the 3 guys with snipers. This allows us to coordinate large-scale assaults much more easily. For example, we think we might have 6 CPs in our game that we will be playing on 16th December, by the way. If you're living in the Oval area, contact me. You'll probably be able to join us. We're going up to Clifton Woods, 16th December, 11 o'clock in the morning. If you can get to the road entrance to Clifton Woods there, and you've got ammo, you've got a gun, and you've got goggles, you can join us. But there's another video about that being uploaded at some point, if I have time. By the way, I'm pointing exactly at the clock on my computer. Normally I'd use the radio there, but... Anyway, what was I saying? Ah yes, CPs. Now, there's 6 CPs, okay? We have, say, got 5, and by the way, we will end up owning all CPs. Enemy is putting a concerted effort into defending the last CP, because they know that if they lose that CP, they are pretty well stuffed. They've lost a lot of points, and the chances are they aren't going to win this game. So, we need to take that place out. But there's no point in working small teams of 2 here. The enemy's concentrated on 1 point. You now need to work in teams of 3. So, what do? Well, it's very simple. Whoever may be in command at the time, generally me, well, should be me in theory. I have the most experience and therefore hold the highest rank from the outsiders group. Will thinks that it's foolish to be putting ranks and things in place, but to be honest, more badges, more fun. Anyway, as I was saying, whoever's in command will say, right, Fire Team 1, now, right, listen please, Fire Team 1, move up. Fire Team 1 is myself, Joe and Corley. Fire Team 2 is Will, Carl and Marty. But Fire Team Alpha is myself and Marty. Fire Team Bravo is Will and Joe, and Fire Team Charlie is Carl and Corley. As you can see, you can change what you want your teammates to know very quickly. This is another benefit of communication. By communicating with your team, they can know what they've got to do, and they know which team they are and who they're meant to be fighting with. Now, identification is a very important thing to do at night. Now, this video is probably going to, it's 7 minutes 50 at the moment. Anyway, identification is incredibly important in night skirmishes. You can't identify who someone is, you don't know whether or not to shoot them, how close to get. It's more of a problem when you're doing larger scale overnight games where you don't know who's who, and you don't know everyone who's there. For example, if some of you showed up for our Airsoft game, I might not know who's who. Well, so what you would do at this point is you generate a string of questions. If you ever watch Cena's, then you'll know what I mean. What would you rather be, a table or a chair? Incorrect answer, shoot them in the face. That's basically how it works. If they answer incorrectly, they're wrong. Obviously, you can't ask some obvious questions like what is the national colour of Ireland? Green, obviously. Actually, apparently it isn't. Apparently it's blue. But now, in my case, I can ask some teammates, like Carl, to respond to me in Russian. Now, it's only Carl really that can do the Russian thing. Joe does a little bit, but you know, we've got I can say to someone, Bimina, and they would have to reply. Spasibo хорошо, I guess, thank you, fine. I'm saying come in, and that basically would mean, right, say, and so if they said thanks, fine, that would imply to me that they're my team. Because of course anyone who translates Russian and knows what it is, except now everyone knows that that's not actually what we would do. Everyone who translates from Russian will be confused as to why I'm saying come in, and would perhaps give a different answer, one that is more logical. But obviously this isn't always going to work for identification. Now, if you've watched my loadout video, you'll know that I use a 40 torch. Where possible, carry something like that. They are heavy, yes, but they'll do the job. Also, a 40 torch will allow you to shine it straight into the face of an enemy, and blind him so he can't shoot you, and allow you to see what colour he is, who he is, and of course if he is, say, a red, in my case, we're the yellow team, you can shoot him. It's brilliant. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers some of the basics of teamwork. Communicate, identify, and work together properly. Get your chemistry right. If you can get a light machine gunner, you only need one between 5 of you, and he's like the 6th guy. He can give you cover, but you don't need more than that. If you really want to know a lot more about teamwork, I would definitely recommend playing a couple of games actually. XCOM, any of the XCOM games, that'll give you a good bit of information. Perhaps the Red Orchestra franchise, that'll tell you, you know, working together in a team. Even Battlefield 3 will teach you to work together in a squad. But I think that pretty much concludes what I have to say to you. I must now go and stop a dog barking. Thank you and goodbye. Yes, I fell over.